We rejoin Lindsay and the team for a very close encounter with the mysterious narwhal and then the mortal threat they face on the Arctic ice. Once again, Lindsay Davis.
Through the fog, which seems to make this moment all the more mystical,
he's just behind that pack of ice over there.
They spot it, an arched back off in the distance. Quite a sight for sore eyes.
I can't believe it. We've actually seen our narwhal, so they exist. They're not imaginary.
There's actually one right there. And then another, this one much closer to the edge. Before we know it, narwhals are everywhere.
There's so many. There's like 6 or 7 of them.
But we were hoping for a slightly closer encounter. So we venture out with our fearless leader into narwhal territory.
So Lindsay, you're kayaking in the Arctic.
I am kayaking in the Arctic.
This area is the only place in the world to see these narwhal. There, did you hear that?
Suddenly, we hear something very close take a massive gasp for air.
There it is. You see the whale right there? Fantastic.
Great.
As if on cue, the fog clears just long enough for us to realize we're surrounded.
They're all around us now.
And for just a second, we spot it. Don't blink or you'll miss it. That ivory tusk.
That's very cool.
That was awesome. You know, what got me hooked on the Arctic was they've chosen to come to you.
And you're not afraid?
No, I mean, they're not going to hurt you. They're just curious. They're just wondering, what are you doing here? This is my backyard.
But just as quickly as the narwhals appear, they're gone. A reminder of just how vulnerable these creatures are to climate change. But rising temperatures aren't just affecting the narwhal. There are 4 million people living here in the Arctic. As our guide Siati showed me, this is not a winter safari destination. It's his home. The sea ice is his highway, his livelihood. It's how he feeds his family.
I love hunting with my grandpa.
So that's one of your favorite things to do?
Yeah.
Hunting for seal?
Yeah.
We see for ourselves that hunting seal isn't easy. And with temperatures rising, it's getting harder. The ice is too slushy for most of the year for Siati to use a traditional dog team. The iron dog he now uses isn't exactly stealthy. The seals can hear him coming from miles away and then escape down their holes into the ocean below.
Oh, I think he's very cute.
That is, when they can escape. We're on our way back from a day of narwhal spotting when we happen upon this seal pup. We thought it was just a photo op. We couldn't have been more wrong. A word of warning, what you're about to see is graphic.
Is it sad at all?
No.
It would seem like such a cute, it was a little baby that lost its way.
It's not a baby, it's just an animal. It's given to us. The Creator gave us this meat so we could survive on it.
But how do you explain it to Westerners who say this is cruelty to animals?
No, this is not cruelty. This is our food. This is how Inuit have survived for thousands of years.
A way of life, like the ice itself, that's slowly disappearing. Weather and ice patterns are becoming more unpredictable, as we're about to find out in a frightening way firsthand.
So big crack behind Charlie?
Big one.
Back at camp just a few hours later, a crisis.
This is wide now.
Suddenly we find ourselves at the mercy of the rapidly melting ice.
There's a big crack that's opening up between us and Pond Inlet. It's melted faster than it should have. So the elders have said that we should pack up and go.
A crack in the ice that's growing with every passing minute. If it gets any wider, it might become impassable, leaving our entire group stranded on the sea ice.
We have to leave stuff behind.
Tom, our team leader, is playing it cool.
No, I'm not stressed. There's all, when I have these guys around, I got complete confidence. We'll get it done. Not worried yet. Not yet.
But wildlife photographer Eric puts the situation in starker terms.
We're going to have to leave immediately, and hopefully we'll be able to make it back to Pond Inlet before we float off into the ocean.
Tilt the leg up.
It's all hands on deck to break down the camp as quickly as possible.
A bit of trepidation at this point as we approach this crack, what they're calling a crack, and I hope it really is that and not a chasm. But we'll see.
The race against Mother Nature is on, and what I see along the way is ominous.
There's so much more water now compared to when I first came out here. There was just massive expanses of ice before, and now it's like little islands of ice.
We press on. Not even a smoking snowmobile is good enough reason to stop. Until we arrive at the so-called crack, which looks a lot more like a lake. And that blue water, open ocean, 1,000 feet deep.
So this has all happened in less than 6 days. So basically, probably 5 times the size that it was a week ago.
Suddenly, the sound of roaring engines. Our Inuit guides attempt to cross the 180-foot crack to try to get us home.